What's up guys, the new exotic Revision 0 came out today, and this is very interesting, and the way you get it is doing the main weekly questline, and at some point along the way you'll get the exotic questline, and the questline is pretty straightforward. A lot of it is in the mission, so if you've ever done a quest, it's pretty straightforward, and once you do that you will get the Revision 0 with a red border. All you have to do is upgrade it to get the pattern and be able to craft it. So looking at what this weapon does, first the exotic perk, Hunter's Trace. This weapon fires special shield piercing ammunition, precision hits grant targeting data, hold reload to swap to the alternate scope, loading high damage rounds based on the amount of targeting data. Then instead of a secondary perk, this has a origin trait that allows you to swap between a 2 burst or a 4 burst. So first looking at the 2 burst options, they honestly both feel really good when you use them. So it might just be purely preference. The 2 burst is super unique and feels really good honestly, and same with the 4 burst. But what I wanted to do is just look at the damage they do per burst to see if there's like a noticeable difference. And based on the numbers that you'll see here in a bit, the 4 burst does way more damage per burst than the 2, which kind of makes sense, 4 bullets compared to 2. But when you use the 4 burst option, you have 36 bullets. When you use the 2 burst, you have 18. So in total, you have 9 bursts either way. So the amount of damage you're going to be doing per mag is going to be way higher with the 4 burst. So it seems like, according to the numbers, that the 4 burst should be way better. But when I use it, the 2 burst doesn't feel bad at all. It's like weird. So definitely play around with both and see which one you prefer. Honestly, even though the numbers don't look better, I kind of like the 2 burst. Then the main part of this weapon, when you do precision hits, you'll get targeting data, and you see there's a bar that shows up in your buff and debuff display. Once you get to at least 1 bar, you can hold reload to change to the sniper, which hits for over 35,000 on Carl. And the way this works is every bar of the targeting data is a bullet, so you can get up to 2, 3, or even full at 4. And when you hold reload, it will obviously consume that data and turn it into the sniper bullets. And one thing to note is, even if you swap weapons, you know, try to hold reload again, there's no way to get rid of the bullets. You have to physically shoot them to then go back to the normal pulse, which could be annoying in different situations, but not that big of a deal. So looking at the rate of fire of this sniper mode, just looking at like the DPS and total damage output. So for this being a infinite ammo primary, as you'll see, the 4 sniper shots take 2.7 seconds, which means a DPS of 51,000 and a total damage of just the 4 shots of 141,000. And once again, with that being infinite ammo primary, that is pretty good. And if we look at the way you can craft this weapon, first off, you can upgrade the intrinsic perk, making it have more stats. Then in the left column perk, there's going to be a lot of good PvP ones, but the best PvE one will definitely be Vorpal. But then there's going to be like 4 different catalysts. And it's kind of unclear if it's just one catalyst that you can then swap between the 4 perks, but the catalyst appears to just be perks, right? And for PvE, you're probably going to want Feeding Frenzy, even Outlaw, or maybe even 4 times a Charm, but more likely I would go for Vorpal plus Feeding Frenzy on this weapon. And with the fact that it has built-in anti-barrier, I can foresee this scene being really good for Nightfalls and Veins with champions in general, and it really reminds me a lot of the Vex Mythoclast. I don't think it's fair yet to compare them 1-to-1 because this weapon is just a show of what it will be. It doesn't have any perks yet, but it definitely has the same formula as the Vex. You know, do damage, get kills, whatever it is, then charge up. In this case, the sniper. In the Vex case, the linear, and they're kind of very similar, right? And I was a huge fan of Vex for a very long time. I really loved it, so I can foresee myself using this quite a bit for things with champions, just because of the fact that, you know, you have the pulse, and whenever a major or high target pops up, you swap to the sniper shots. No matter how many you might have 1, you might have 2, you might have all 4, you know, quickly take them out and go back to the pulse. The few things I find extremely annoying about this weapon though is once you shoot the sniper shots, no matter if your regular mag was reloaded or not, you have to reload the weapon, which is extremely frustrating. I don't like that at all. Like in the situation where my mag is reloaded, a major comes around the corner, and I change to sniper, shoot it, kill it, then swap back to the pulse. Why do I have to fully reload the weapon again? It's like so clunky. Then the other thing is getting the targeting data seems to take quite a while, which I can understand why that is. with it being an infinite ammo primary. Obviously, if you could generate these sniper shots very quickly, that might be a little bit of a problem. But I wouldn't mind if they also give you data on kills, not only just precision hits. Maybe that feel a little bit better. Maybe fine tune it to maybe weigh a little bit more towards kills, a little bit less towards hits, and find like the perfect balance. But right now it feels like you can kill like an entire room of enemies, then you're like barely at like the second sniper shot, which doesn't feel great, but I can understand why that is. So overall, my opinion on this weapon so far is it's very cool, a lot like Vex, but for a pulse, which is one of my favorite weapons in the game. So in my books, that's a good thing. And as we get more perks, the catalyst and stuff like that, it should only get better. So overall, a very cool exotic. The exotic mission was, it was cool, but it was also just like a Deepstone Crypt tutorial when it came down to it. So I'm not quite sure about that. But like usual, let me know what you guys think about this weapon. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.
I'm reading dense hive signatures in a facility up ahead. I don't like this. It feels like a trap.